Hey people from battlebay, welcome in this new video. In today's video I do like to teach you how to develop your guns and items, and I will also give you some tips and mistakes that people make on upgrading these items. So you can see my loadout right here. This is a new setup that I was testing. I didn't create this myself. A special thanks to Goodbye for making such good videos with Speeder and Forcer, etc. Um, anyway, let's get to the point. Okay, so how are you gonna develop your items and what do you need? Okay, so first of all, plan your upgrades is one of the most crucial parts in upgrading your guns. Um, the reason for this is very simple. If you want to upgrade your big torpedo, you also gotta do that, of course. A great way to do this is to, for instance, train the grenade launcher if you haven't trained that yet, and then switch to the big torpedo. So while you're training your big torpedo, you are upgrading your grenade launcher as well, which means you are actually developing two guns at the same time, which is really good. This is one of my techniques that I use, but unfortunately, many people here in the Bay are way better than I am on developing guns. And I do admit that. I do admit that I'm terrible at doing it. Because I mean, even if I had all the time on my Marine Force One account, in the past, I just went not great with developing my guns. When I had a tier 3 Gatling gun, which was really terrible, I still played it, and up until that day, I was thinking like, what am I doing wrong at this game? And then I saw everything. I saw that Gatling gun was terrible, explosive cannon was good, so I used that one always in a good way, which was when I was really happy with that, because I mean, like, you don't want to use only terrible guns, do you? So I was really happy with that. Then I scrapped eventually my explosive cannon and start building an epic one. And I finally start getting some brain cells in this game. But up until that point, I was practically gonna be useless for everyone. I mean, not as a fixer, of course, but the thing was simple. Yeah, I just walked behind with development on my Reaper, and my fixer was not going great, and at that point I was just completely useless. I was fucked up at that point as a level 25 player, and I still remember that day from now on, and that's why I want to warn you to be aware of what you are upgrading, because upgrading, it isn't just tapping on one button and you're done. No, because upgrading gets more and more expensive. So then you start asking yourself, is this worth it? Is it worth upgrading? That's the first thing you need to know. Is it worth upgrading your weapon? Does it really give that much of an advantage? Does it really make you better? Do you really use that gun much? Because if you don't use it, why upgrading it? It's a waste. So that's why I'm thinking about Big Torpedo. Will I use it? Yes, I will use it because I want to play Frost Torp Speeder, and I also want to play it in future setups because I never really played Big Torpedo, you know? I only played on my Marine Force 1 account. I played Missile, I played Explosive Cannon, I played Railgun, I played Blast Cannon, I played Flare. But what I did not play was Napalm, Big Torpedo, Swift Torpedo. I did play. I definitely did play that one, and I really loved to play the Swift Torpedo because it was almost undodgeable, which was really good. I really loved that. But that's the thing, if you don't uh, develop right in the right way, and you don't think, you don't use your brain cells, you will start losing your composition. and that's why I make this video. Another thing that you need to remember is that spamming is good at the beginning, but keep in mind that it's also not good at the same time. And the reason for that is because your weapon mastery goes down. And some people will be asking this, like questions like this: what, really? Yes, it does. Because in order to completely master your weapon mastery, you need to use all different guns, and you need to find the ones that you're the best with. Now, of course, I'm not the best missile user, I'm not the best railgun user, I'm not the best sniper cannon user, neither I'm the best cannon user, but you know, that's the thing with me. I'm not outstanding, and that's the thing here, which is probably why people say I'm a noob, but I am in fact not completely a noob. Oh, Paradex said that I needed to accept it. Okay, well, welcome back. Um, but that's the thing, you know. You can say like, you can say that you're good, you can say that you're bad, but everyone in the end can be kind of mediocre. We all have our good moments and bad moments, which is why sometimes the good players are toxic. I mean, like, everyone is possible to mess up and have some bad ideas in the combat zone, but in the end, we know we will also be okay. So upgrading isn't just one tap on a button. Remember that. Another tip that I give you is to check the store. In order to check the store, you can easily buy parts which you need to upgrade. This is also a crucial part in leveling up your guns. Do not upgrade epics unless you have duplicates. The reason for this and why I'm saying all this stuff is simple. Epics are even more expensive than rares and are even harder to get. Remember that. You will oftentimes get more rares than epics because the drop chances of epics are less and you have way less chance to get epics. The chances of you getting the same epic over and over again is way lower than getting a rare. So keep in mind that rare stumbled is not worth upgrading, simply because it doesn't really contribute the duration that much. Epic is way better. So upgrade epic instead of rare. Don't waste your rare parts on it, please. Rare missile is definitely gonna be useful for you, so upgrade that one if you have it. And no, not the missiles, idiots. No, upgrade the good guns and upgrade the regular missile instead of the flipping multi-missile. I don't even know what multi-missile is doing in this game. Also, don't use sniper cannon until you have enough crit chance. This is also a mistake that some people make. So, yeah, that's the thing here. And if you are planning to switch a ship, I do not recommend you already play that loadout from the beginning. And some people might be asking why, but then you have an advantage over others, right? Well, you might say that, but what if that's not true? Because I can also play that loadout later, test it against my friends, get better, and then start developing. And then start finding a playstyle and knowing the positioning and how you are supposed to play it. We're getting flanked here. Okay. I need to get away here. I am definitely gonna be dead right now. Oh, I'm so dead. I am honestly so fucking dead. And I'm dead. Okay. Okay, so what mistake did they make? They did not stick together and they played way too aggressive, which you don't want to do. I know another mistake that people make is not checking YouTube before upgrading your guns, and that's the worst mistake that you can make in developing your guns. Uh, but some people might be asking why, and the reason for this is very simple. If you spend all your time on upgrading a weapon that you're later on gonna scrap, you practically put all that effort, all those materials into something that you're never gonna use again, and that's the worst. Okay, so what weapons are worth upgrading and which ones are not worth upgrading? Okay, now I do say that the standard cannon is definitely worth upgrading, but only if you have a long cooldown setups. Now, what are long cooldown weapons? Well, the explosive cannon is long cooldown. The big Bertha is long cooldown. Big torpedo is long cooldown. Railgun is long cooldown. Missile is just mediocre cooldown. Um, yeah, those are the long cooldown weapons. But instead of using a standard cannon, you can also use a swift torpedo with only 9 seconds cooldown later on, which is also really good. Is the triple torpedo? Triple torpedo is also long cooldown. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. We also have, of course, napalm and firebomb, which are also long cooldown. I mean, like, just look at it, 16 seconds, which is really long. Sorry for that, someone was just venting into my room. Soon I'm gonna drink coffee, and I will also tell you the repair things and defrost things that are worth upgrading. Okay, so the Tesla Bolt, the Tesla Shoot, the Nitro, those are worth upgrading. The Overboost can be as well if you want to. You don't have to, of course. The Frost Blaster is sadly enough not worth upgrading, even if you get it on Epic. But you can use Frost Blaster for sure. But the Frost Launcher is better. It's just genuinely better. Simply because, yeah, it has area of effect, which is better for the Frost Torp setup or any kind of mortar setup. If you use the Frost Blaster on there, you're just terrible. For the repair items, the repair pulse, the duct tape, and the repair bolt and the repair plasma are all worth upgrading. You should know that. Just don't upgrade too much duct tape though, because duct tape, it's a really good item. I do definitely agree with people. And not just for Reaper, it can also be on Fixer. For instance, you can play duct tape with double bolt and you will crush everyone. I have played that setup and it's really good. I can recommend it to you. Because the reason for that is simple. You saw that I struggled right there with the plasma healing myself up. Instead, I could have taken a tape there, which was Epic Mark II then, and it would heal me up really easy and on the move. The repair pulse is also really good compared to plasma, and it's actually even better than plasma in my opinion. Some people will disagree with me and say that I'm stupid, but that's not true. Pulse is definitely going to be a great item when you compare it with plasma and bolt. It's one of the best fixer setups out there. The repair box is sadly enough not worth upgrading. It's worthless. I'm sorry. For the Guardian, the defense wall and the defense aura are worth upgrading. The bolster armor, sadly enough, not. And the clean spells as well. But you can use if you want to bolster armor, but I do not recommend. Though it can be a counter to Carronade. Napalm is going to be worth upgrading. Firebomb is going to be worth upgrading. Flare gun, mine, missile launcher, railgun, triple torpedo, swift torpedo, big torpedo, standard torpedo, no. Big Bertha, yes. Ballpark mortar, yes. Long range mortar, yes. Standard mortar is an absolute no-go. Grenade launcher, absolutely everyone knows. Carronade, that's okay, but I would not recommend you use it later on, so that's also a no go. Gatling gun, also a no go. Explosive cannon, absolutely yes. Sniper cannon, yes, absolutely. I love that weapon. But be advised, sniper relies on crit chance perks, so you don't want to use it immediately, else it's completely useless. Just look at this sniper cannon, only 50% chance to hit a crit. Now look at mine, 35. That's a lot better. As long as you don't have 30% crit chance, you should not play sniper cannon. Remember that. Now, I was very lucky with that sniper cannon, of course. Heck, it's even more powerful than my railgun. Is it though? No, it's not. It's simply not. Anyway, that's for today's videos, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something from this. I also hope you know now how to play this kind of thing. I'm sorry if I talked so much, but there was just a lot of theory behind this. So goodbye, wish you a happy day, and Merry Christmas, by the way. Ciao.